I think it's sort of underreported that there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, where they were trying to sell Tommy Fury to me and you as a serious competitor, a serious up and comer, the younger brother of the great Tyson Fury. There was a time where they tried to sell me and you this guy as he fought, gatekeepers and journeymen on the undercards of Queensbury promotion shows. And honestly, he was fighting better guys then than he's fighting now. Slums, what it do? Michael, what it do? Real talk, what it do? Super duper early as always to help put the chairs, set up the chairs. Gooch, what it do? Apparently, Tommy Fury, and I don't even think this dude has fought since the KSI fight. And that has to have been like 2 years ago. That has to have been because he fought KSI the same year that he fought Jake Paul. He fought KSI after that. Apparently now he's fighting Eddie Hall, the power lifter, in a Circus fight. Like, yeah, like you straight up Circus now, bro. You straight up Barnum and Bailey. Like that's you, bro. And I just, I saw the story and I didn't want to dedicate a 5 or 6 or 7 minute segment on it because you don't want to spend that kind of time on Tommy Fury, Tommy Tuna, right? But he's fighting Eddie Hall. What it do, Martin? Que lo que, mi niño? He's fighting Eddie Hall. And, like you could see what it is that he made all that money. He was able to parlay the Jake Paul fight into a dollar amount that he probably would have never got to just doing things the old-fashioned way, working your way up the ranks, fighting in the eliminators, fighting for a title, becoming a champion, that if he would have had to go through things that way, he never would have made that money because he's fucking awful. He's terrible. Like, he's a terrible boxer. I think Jake Paul beat him, but whatever. So he falls face first into that opportunity, and he hasn't looked back because he's been in the misfit influencer circuit ever since. And the Eddie Hall fight that he's about to have is a Misfits promotion, right? And that's probably going to be a pay-per-view. All those Misfits things they do are pay-per-views, all of them. So that's probably going to be a pay-per-view as part of your ultimate tier. Fuck me, bro. That's why I didn't buy that shit, bro. That's why I didn't subscribe to that shit. I'm fairly confident Tommy Tuna versus Eddie Hall is going to be a $50 or $60 pay-per-view unless you subscribe to the ultimate tier. Now, he's not going to fight Darren Till because Darren Till can actually box a little bit. Darren Till could box a little bit. I seen him. He could fight a little bit. But I just think it's crazy that at one point they was really trying to develop this guy into a fighter, into a boxer. At one point. So he's full on circus mode. Apparently, per rumors, Eddie Hearn will continue, Matchroom will continue to partner with Riad Season. And people are looking at that and saying, Eddie, why are you fucking with them if this guy's working against you? He's working with Zuffa. Why would you partner up with him to allow him access to more of your fighters? And it's because, well, business is business. Eddie wasn't really lying when he said that, Turkey's transparent with the shit that he does. If he's going to do something, he's going to let you know. What Matchroom stands to benefit from a continued partnership with Sella and Riad Season is you get the money that you hope to make from your fighters without having to put any money up. Whatever you get, you're in the black. So if they use B-Vol for a show and B-Vol gets X, and out of the X, you get Y, that is pure profit. You didn't have to spend nothing. You didn't have to gamble no money on the show. You didn't have to promote it. You didn't have to do shit. That's why he would do that. So at minimum, because Turkey doesn't have a great relationship with Frank, obviously. So I don't think we can expect to see Frank's boys on Turkey shows. Oscar said he hasn't spoken to Turkey in a very long time, and Turkey didn't really use a lot of his fighters anyway for anything. He didn't have a lot of fighters you would want to see. I guess that means that at minimum, Riad season, it is going to start back up, because it was the other day that Undefeated asked what happened to the Riad season shows. Well, I guess they're going to keep doing them. The Riad season shows, the Ring Magazine shows, I guess they're going to keep doing them. And at minimum, we can expect to see at least matchroom fighters on those shows. I think we could probably see 1 or 2 PBC guys if they have any guys that they want to use, because the PBC benefits from that arrangement the same as Matchroom. If we loan you out Brandon Figueroa and you pay him X, we get Y out of the X. Matchroom for real, right? Matchroom season for real. Interesting. He was doing more MMA. There's no money in MMA, Eddie Hall is not dumb. He had one boxing match, which he lost, against Thor Bjornsson, the other strongman, the other powerlifter, the really, really big one, the wall or the mountain, whatever the fuck they call him. He had a fight with him like 2, maybe 3 years ago. He lost the fight. Now he's fighting Tommy Tuna. Fredo Fury, as Steve Kim called him. And he really is the Fredo of that shit. Of all the boxing Furies, he's the least serious one. The dad was a boxer, and he wasn't much of a boxer. Tyson is the best one of them. He's got a younger brother, Roman Fury. He's fucking awful. And what's the cousin? What's the cousin's name? Peter's son?
Peter Fury?
Huey. Every other Fury besides Tommy Tuna is a fucking serious boxer. He, out of everybody, like the dad, the son, the nephew, everybody, the brother, everybody's a more serious boxer than fucking Tommy Tuna, bro. Tommy Tuna is straight up, he's straight up cotton candy and Siegfried and Roy, bro. He's straight up.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bro? You ready to whip it out?
Ready?
Yo. I got a question, bro.
Okay.
I love what the DAZN is doing. It reminds me, it's giving me that HBO is back. The great boxing is back. At what point do we say enough of this pay-per-view shit? Enough. That shit is like $50 a month. Suck my dick. Nah.
The real shit
You
about
would like that.
See, the real shit about the pay-per-view shit is, look, I think it's holding them back. I think it's holding them back. The real problem is the fighters, bro. And that's why me and Leo never kind of saw eye to eye on this thing. He blamed the sanctioning bodies for the state of boxing, right? I blame the fighters and their managers, because the reason that they keep using pay-per-view, the reason they keep implementing that model is because it's the only way, theoretically, to get these fighters what they want. Like Devin Haney, for example. He's the most obvious example. This guy is not pay-per-view worthy at all. But the only way to get him to do anything is to, bill it as a pay-per-view and see if people buy it, so you can get your money that way. And that's really how the model is being used now. It's being used for guys that don't belong on it because they want money that they're not good for, that nobody's going to give them outside of Turkey. You know what I mean? Yeah, Turkey will throw you a big-ass bag. Turkey will. But
it's pretty much GoFundMe boxing.
That's what I called
it. It's a fancy way of saying, it's a fancy way of saying it's GoFundMe. for boxers. Once you see that pay-per-view, it's like, okay, where's the GoFundMe link from?
You know, like
Because that's pretty much what it
this
is.
weekend's fight is the perfect example. Like, bro, Thurman versus Fundora, right? For perspective, Lara versus Hurd about 6 or 7 years ago was a better quality fight
Dude, that
than this
wasn't 6 or
weekend's fight.
7 years ago. That was 8 years ago.
8, right? Let's say 8.
2018.
But that shows the inflation, Seth. Doesn't that show you the inflation that you literally got a better fight, a unification match between two champions? It turned out to be a great fight, by the way. It was actually a great fight.
It was.
And you didn't have to pay anything extra to see that. You didn't. You didn't. It was a regular Showtime fight. Whereas
I
now,
think saying inflation kind of goes without saying, man, because I mean, this ain't even a unification match, and it's like with Keith, who only had one fight as a junior middleweight, and it wasn't even against a true junior middleweight.
and Keith is the reason, you know, Sebastian sort of, but Keith is part of the reason that it is a pay-per-view for the money that Keith is going to want to fight somebody like Sebastian. Oh, well, we got to bill it as a pay-per-view. And even if we know that nobody's really going to buy it, that the odds of this selling anything in the open market are very low, we're going to do it so that he will at least fight the guy. Maybe if people buy it, you can get the money you're looking for that way. That's the only way you're going to get it because, well, we don't have it. You know, like what you want, 5, 6, 7 mil or something. Yeah, we don't have that. If you want that, best we could do, put you on pay-per-view. Hopefully the money will come from the fans. It's not going to, fellas. This weekend's fight, I think, what, 55,000 if they're lucky? If they're lucky.
23,000.
I
don't know.
can't
I
see
could have.
in this economy, fellas. I can't see regular guys. Yeah, I need $75 for a dick in the butt undercard and an active Keith versus very passive Sebastian Fundora.
Who is on the undercard?
I don't know.
I still like no.
Frankie
bro.
Sanchez and freaking Richard
No,
Dane on the.
they're-
No. Hold
they're-
on. Hold on. They're not on the undercard anymore, and that was the only fight that I sort of cared about. But I mean, I'm not gonna watch that fight. Dude.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys that I don't steal shit, man. I just, you know, I don't like because boxing gives me money, so I try to put money back into the sport. But honest to God, I'm not paying for that. No,
All right.
no.
Since we're being honest, I steal everything. Fuck that. The only thing I pay for is Zuffa, and they don't got nobody. That's because it's $8.99 a month.
My God,
Undefeated. We know that you steal, bro. We know that you steal.
You telling me with a straight face to give y'all 75 of my dollars for one fight? Really? There's nothing on that undercard, bro. Like there's nothing on that undercard. There's nothing. There's nothing. The only shit, just like Seth said, Torres versus Sanchez was enough. It's like, oh, all right. I like Richard. Richard is a guy. But if he not even on. Come on, B.
It kind of gives you that feeling like, oh, Richard's on the undercard is like, oh, so this relative you haven't seen in like 10 years that you didn't give a damn about. Oh, they're in town. Oh, yeah.
No, you know,
that's
feeling itself, it's like, well, she's not that pretty, but she's got a big chest. It's like that. Well, she's not that pretty, but she has a big ass.
She's got HPV, but I'll wear Jimmy.
Yeah. She's got HPV. Shout out to Mr. Calderon. The only way I'm buying a Thurman pay-per-view is if they throw him in there with better beef. Now that's a fight.
God
No.
No, throw him in there with freaking, what is it, Opetaia, bro.
But undefeated, the long and the short of your question is, when is enough with the pay-per-views? When the fighters stop acting like they belong on there, because the fighters are the reason that shit keeps happening. It's the fighters' fault, bro. If you don't have Devin asking you for crazy money, like they're trying to do the Thurman, the Devin Haney, Rolly Romero fight. And like, yeah, that fight would make people pay attention. There's no need to lie. But that fight is best suited on a network. If you told people, if it were on CBS, for example, I promise you it does about 3 million views on CBS. 4 million views. Yeah, they'll watch it. But neither of you have a fan base loyal enough. You just don't have that kind of customers that they're going to pay Bro, what the fuck is Thurman? I mean, Haney versus Rolly really gonna do what? 150, if that.
50,000.
Nobody really thinks Rolly is a good fighter. They just think he's a funny kid. But they don't. The shit that makes people buy pay-per-views, and that's kind of what's getting lost. That pay-per-view is for those really special fights where you don't know what's gonna happen and you want to tune in. And you don't get those. Like, no, that's not Haney and Rolly. Like, what the fuck? Huh?
Yeah.
No. It's not that. But could it be big? Yes, if you did it on a terrestrial network or a conventional cable network, I could definitely see it doing good numbers. The real problem is it's the inflation. And Devin is my poster child for that. This is a guy who gets paid in excess of what he's worth almost every time he fights now. He's getting overpaid. And who pay and what ends up with that? Well, he ends up on pay-per-view with Prograis, then pay-per-view with Loma, then pay-per-view with Ryan, then pay-per-view with he ended up on an undercard after that, which is where he belongs. Which is where he belongs, you know?
Well, after the Ryan fight, he's been fighting on undercards ever since then.
But
if
that's
you think
where he
about it.
belongs, Seth. That's Devin is not. I'm gonna say Devin is not a main event fighter.
Fuck no.
He's just not. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. If
He's-
you go back to the Don King era, and what them undercards would look like, you know, you'd have Mike Tyson, you'd have Mike in the main event, Christy Martin on the undercard, and people are getting knocked out, bro. Bitches getting knocked out, guys are getting
Yep.
knocked out, people are doing coke in the bathroom. It's fucking crazy. It's a scene. Devin, you belong on the prelim card of some shit
No.
like that.
Like he's not.
No,
he's not even. He's not even must see TV. He must turn off TV. That's what he is.
Yeah. Must
No,
go
they need
make
to
a
give him
sandwich.
the-
No, he's must go make a sandwich TV.
They need to
But
give him the
he's
Kermel Moulton treatment, bro. Kermel Moulton
Oh
treatment.
God!
They bring
Did
him
y'all
on
see-
after the main
Did y'all
event.
see that dickhead? Did y'all see that dickhead? Like
What
he
did
was
he
trying
say?
to he was trying to go after George Vizioli. It's an unbeaten UK kid that Eddie's promoting. He had a fight last weekend. He won, knocked the guy out. Whatever, you know what he did. Whatever he did. And here comes Kermel.
Mhm.
Oh, I need to see you. Like I need to. Yo, dog.
Freaking small hat Moulton.
Yo, like get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, well, why are you talking that shit? You ain't done nothing yet, you fat. And he's a fat fucker. Yo, understand? Kermel is literally smaller than Gervonta, but guess where he last fought?
147.
Super lightweight.
Welterweight.
Yeah.
Welterweight.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What the
Jules,
the
he was
guy-
140.
No, he was 142, bro. I just looked at the shit. He was that's welterweight. That's welterweight. If
Oh,
anything,
okay.
a featherweight?
that's welterweight.
And he's
That's
shorter
what I
than
was
He
saying.
was.
Seth, that's what I.
wasn't.
Now,
Yeah,
the
he
guy
was
that
a
he called
featherweight
out,
because I remember
guy
he
that
was
he
calling
called
Lee
out-
Wood out.
The
That's
guy
that snack.
He called out Lee Wood. He called out Lamont Roach. Now he's calling out the George Vizioli kid. George Vizioli, for those who don't know him, he's a lightweight. He's a 135-pound fighter. My man, you just fought at 142. You need to be calling out Rolly at this point.
He needs to be on
Like-
Weight Watchers, bro.
Definitely.
He's smaller than Gervonta. Like, Brody, what is going on in your camp? Like, what direction is your career even going in? And it was Eddie's reaction that got me because I don't even cover Kermel like that. Like, I'm telling y'all, that kid is not going to be nothing. I already see, like, yeah, there is not a plan for you and what you're doing. I can tell because of how they've been moving you. They have you on floater fights. For those that are not familiar with floater fights, it's a card that they keep in their back pocket. They just don't know where to put it on the show. Like that's what a floater fight is. Like
Damn.
a floater fight
Mm.
could happen in the prelim card. It could pop up in the main card. It could pop up after the main card, which has happened to him. That he's fought after the show was over. And sometimes
Canelo
right?
Charlo.
Damn, shit can pop up anywhere.
Right? So they got you fighting on floater fights. You're not even making super featherweight, lightweight, not even you last fought at welterweight, homeboy. Like
It's whatever weight.
what does anybody
Whatever weight you
need
want.
from you, bro? And you could see that when Floyd got this kid and he starts pushing him, it's not a coincidence. It was when Javante left Mayweather Promotions. So you could see what Floyd did. He ran out and signed the first light skinned kid with beady eyes that he could
Gotta
beady
get that
eyes.
next mini Mike Tyson.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yo.
he got dumped, so he was hurt.
Yo,
He went for the
Yeah,
so
first
none of
yeah.
featherweight.
y'all, are buying the pay-per-view, huh?
I'm still. I don't even know if
You
I
know,
Oh,
should.
joke's on you.
Virtuoso.
I just listen. I just
How much does
pre-ordered
it
it for
cost?
free on StreamEats Plus.
There you
How
Listen,
much
go.
does it cost?
Virtuoso, 75.
$0.
You
Yeah,
know I buy
Casting.
Virtuoso. You know I buy everything, bro. But I'm not. I can't in good conscience give y'all
Yeah,
$75 for Thurman and Fundora,
No,
bro. Like, nah.
you gotta flip it,
That's
on the YouTube live stream, but this ain't worth it.
that's a good bag of coke.
it's not worth it. Like we're getting Moses Italma versus Jermaine Franklin also on the weekend. I'm gonna go live for that in the afternoon. That's a good fight. But like this is ridiculous. Like y'all
Yeah,
putting any old bullshit up there now and just crossing y'all fingers and clenching y'all asshole, hoping that we all like, yeah, we gotta stop this. We this has to stop. It gotta be a line,
no.
bro. It's gotta be a line.
The GoFundMe pay-per-view's gotta
Yeah, it's
stop.
gotta be a line, bro.
Jules, you
So
mean
The
you can't
only
make money off of Willie
no,
Hutchinson?
yo. So
they're
like
only fan
back
boxes now. They ain't
back to
GoFundMe.
the
It's OnlyFans.
back to the zone question, bro. Like the zone's going the same way, where some of it is not supposed to be pay per view. Matter of fact, majority is not
Yeah.
supposed to be pay per view. Well, I know I am.
True.
Are y'all selling that shit too?
Hell yeah.
No. Nah, I mean, like a lot of the stuff
No.
that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm getting, I pay for it. A lot of
Fire
the
stick
stuff, like,
boys, we outside, bro.
but like
Well,
for
we don't
example,
all make
which
money from the sport like
Well,
Jules.
which is the last pay-per-view that they did on DAZN? What was it? Barrios and Garcia,
Garcia,
right? So
yeah.
Mario
I'll
Barrios.
give y'all a rough number. I think that pay-per-view, I think I bought it as part of a bundle. I think it ran me about 60 or something like that.
But that was
So
a Golden Boy show, right?
yeah, but you can shut the fuck up, bro. All right.
Bitch ass nigga. Fucking bitch ass nigga.
All right.
Mario Barrios.
No, but it costed like 60. So for a perspective, out of that 60 that I spent, not only did I get it back, but I made about 150 in profit. So you see why it's like, oh, okay, then if you're getting your money back and then some, it makes sense. But I really am not expecting to make a whole heap of money from Thurman and Fundora, to be real, which are like, nah, y'all don't have fans. You don't. Like who the fuck is hyped off of this? Like what, people are really sitting around biting their nails thinking Keith is gonna pull it off? Come on, bro.
Keith has a better chance of growing hair than he does winning the fight.
For
Or
real.
losing it. He'll quit it on his hairline will
Keith
quit on the
Thurman could
stool.
sell
gross
more
hair.
cars than pay-per-views. Put it that way. He looked like a
For
car
real.
salesman.
He should work for Chrysler. Just get him a shiny seat. He could work for He could work for Toyota. Shout out
Chase
to
Bank.
motherfucking George. Chuck Wepner versus that's actually a good fight. Who you got, Ignacio? These guys don't know who Chuck Wepner is. Chuck Wepner,
No, Jules.
Luis
He's not
Ortiz.
asking you. He's not asking you who would win. He's asking who
It's
won
ass
that fight.
versus ass.
You don't get the joke?
I
Who won
just
that
got
fight?
it. I just got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's pretty bad. April's gonna be a really solid month in the sport. September is gonna be a crazy month. Like there's a couple of months that are coming up that they look like they're gonna be really solid. And that's we don't even know what fights Top Rank is gonna put on to add to the calendar. But just right now, like Thurman Fundora, homie, come on, bro. Come on. I spend $75 for that, rough number. I think if I spend the 75 for that, I'll probably make 125, 150 total. Yeah, I'll get the money back, but I can't be giving y'all money. I can't be giving y'all money for trash like that, bro. I
No,
just can't.
you're
I mean,
legit
Jules, you
asking
bought a Danny
Americans.
Garcia pay-per-view, so you
You're
have no
I
problem
didn't
giving
buy
away
that
money
shit.
for
I
trash.
didn't buy that shit. The fuck? I did not buy
you're
that
asking
shit.
you're asking boxing fans to pick between buying a 75 pay-per-view card or filling up the gas tank, bro. And like, nah, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
jerk off and fill
No,
my
but
pero
you
tank.
steal your gas though,
eso
right?
es una
You
compra. It
siphon your
is.
gas, right?
He siphoned.
Son una compra. Like, yo, you could get milk, eggs, some fucking frozen burgers, some burger buns. Like, yo,
Uh-huh.
$75. and it's for one fight. Like there's nothing on the undercard. I literally don't know who's on the, like who the fuck is even fighting? Who's in the co-main event? Now, another thing that caught my attention that's going on right now, right? So you guys know that today they announced that Zepeda's going to be fighting Lamont Roach for the vacant WBC title. But what isn't being reported by anyone, right? And it's deliberate that they're not reporting it. You know that there's already an interim champion installed, right?
Who?
Jadir, it's a Cuban. It's a Cuban. Unbeaten kid. Jadir. Let me look. The point of it is, the point that I'm making, because it's not about that fighter. The point of it is the conversation that we've been having the last week or so, that people are complaining about the Revival Act and how it's going to affect boxing, right? But it would limit how many interim champions they can crown. That's not a bad thing, because you got a whole interim champion right there. He's been interim champion for a few weeks now, by the way. And aren't you supposed to elevate him to full champion? No, you don't want to do that. Oh, because he's Cuban. The same with the same shit you did with these girls. That who's making all that noise? Because it's distracting me. Do you have somewhere you need to be? Yeah, thank you.
Is it me?
Yeah, I think that's you, bro. The point of it is, they're complaining that Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh are going to come into boxing and they're going to try to monopolize it when there's already a monopoly in boxing. There's already a monopoly in boxing. You got guys given interim titles and never order the fight. It's a stay busy belt, and it waters down the sport. You let the WBA have upwards of 3, 4, 5 belts in circulation in one weight class, and you complain about it. So that as soon as Zuffa and somebody else tries to come into it and change that, oh, now they're the bad guys. I really think boxing fans are fucking retarded. That's the only conclusion. They're like, yeah, you don't see that the Revival Act, if you read through it, it gets rid of a lot of the bullshit that we've been complaining about. That no, you don't get to crown everybody an interim champion. No, it's one per division. Only under extenuating circumstances do you get to hand out an interim title, because you have an interim champion at 140 in Isaac Cruz, and you have a full champion. If there's an interim and a full, why are you ordering Dalton Smith to fight Puello? Puello ain't no interim champion. Puello's still coming off a loss. Why didn't you just order Isaac to fight Dalton? Nah, because because you don't really want to do that. You're doing a favor to Isaac. It's all bullshit. And it's like, yeah, boxing needs this. It needs this for somebody to come in and regulate.
Where is my boy Sean Zittle?
Sean
Complaining
Skittles,
about-
he's over there doing the PBC
Sean Skittles.
stuff.
No, you're not gonna. In other words, I forgot that kid at 135 is the WBC interim champion, and the reason I forgot is because it's deliberately underreported by the media. They're trying to push the agenda that the Revival Act is bad, that the Revival Act is going to hurt the boxers. No, the boxers are being hurt right now because that kid's already interim champion, and y'all didn't elevate him like y'all elevated Mario Barrios. Y'all didn't elevate him like y'all elevated Christian Mabili. This is the bullshit that needs to stop. If there's no point, if you're not going to elevate him and you're not going to order the fight between him and William Zepeda or Lamont Roach, then why is there an interim title? For what? Oh, so you could get money from his fights and so you could get money from their fucking fights. Is that it? Yeah, that shit needs to stop, bro. It's fucking disgusting what's going on in boxing right now. It reminds me of that biblical passage where it says that up is down, left is right. It's like, you're like, yeah, Zuffa ain't the bad guys. You're the bad guys. Because you're advocating for a system that fucks over the boxers. Literally. You're advocating for a system, the sanctioning body system. If anybody's getting fucked, yeah, it's the boxers. They're the ones getting fucked. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the boxers. And like I said, I don't either, but I care about the quality of the sport. When you start protecting bums because they're mildly popular bums and you don't let the good fighters fight, yeah, now we have a problem. That's how we end up with the welterweight division that we have now. You got a bunch of bums running around. They ain't even that good. And they would have been got beat if you did your job. Something needs to change. Shout out to motherfucking George. Would Sean Porter have been good at 154, 160?
No.
What do y'all think? No.
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 Too short.
No. Too short.
I don't. Nope.
Too short, not enough power.
Who would he have beat in any era of junior middleweights? Like, nah.
Keith
He wouldn't
Thurman.
beat.
Junior Walker.
Shout out to Mr. Calderon. Fucking interim title. Give them a briefcase, WWE style. Imagine Jai running up on David after 12 rounds with. I mean, I think he should though.
Cash that money in the bank.
Yeah, because it's political now. You know, you have to make yourself known. They're not going to want you to be on camera, and they're not going to help you. Security's going to try to keep you out. But that's why you need to go to his press conference, because what they're doing now to Jai is the Johnny Foreigner thing. That, oh, he's from Australia. Nobody knows him. They're trying to ignore you. So you have to make it to where they can't. You go to his press conference and you call him out. You can't be respectful anymore because they've been disrespecting you. If they're disrespecting you, you got to give that back. David was talking shit. His father was talking shit. So you got to hit the streets now, Jai. They took your belt. You gotta shake shit up now. Like, nah, y'all not gonna ignore me, bro. I'm gonna fuck you up. David, if you all about fighting the best, how you not trying to fight me? Everybody know I'm the best in this division. If you don't think I am, prove it. Give David the energy that he give Canelo. You want to talk about that little man all day, homie? I'm gonna talk about you all day until you fight me. And what? You gotta start doing that. I don't know.
I'm right here, pussy. Man, we need that shit.
Yeah,
back.
David doesn't call him a pussy. He doesn't call him a bitch like he did Canelo. I want David to increase the energy a bit.
I mean, the shit is he know who to play that game with, you know?
Yeah.
He knows who to play that game with.
He's still calling out Canelo. He's still calling that motherfucker out.
Ja got to give him the energy that David gives Canelo. They're like, Brody, if you win them 2 belts, I'm on your ass. Never mind if I got the IBF and the... never mind that, because I got Turkey. The motherfucker that paid for your last fight, right? He paid for mine, so what's good? What's good? You got to give him
I would have tweeted something like, see you in Riad season. You know, some shit like that. You know?
Jules, but why is he still calling out Canelo? Still. 2 years. It's been 2 years.
Because the real shit is that the Zurdo Ramirez. I actually like that fight. I was watching some highlights of Zurdo earlier today. It's a great fight, to be honest with you. Benavidez versus Zurdo is a great fight. But the shit is that casuals don't care about that fight. No, only hardcores know about that fight, because only hardcores know about Zurdo. Like, casuals don't know that dude. David is still bringing up Canelo because it's the only way to get talked about. He goes on a podcast. Do they talk about? Go to watch an interview with David, and what do they ask about? Canelo. Yeah. They don't want to hear about Zurdo. They probably don't know. A lot of these podcasters probably don't know nothing about that man. They don't ask him about Zurdo. They ask him about Canelo. So for David, the biggest part of the promotion, I gotta say Canelo name at least 10 times during the podcast.
Well, think about it this way.
He needs to bring up Jai's name more. That's the problem. Bring up Jai's name a bit more.
Think about it this way. If he didn't mention Canelo at all, how relevant would he be in comparison?
Yeah, Canelo's the shot. Canelo is the shot in the arm that his career needed. If you go back to 2017 when he had the title, nobody gave a fuck about him. On God, bro. Like, I paid. Hey. Nobody gave a fuck about him. 2017, 2018. No. It's not until Canelo starts to come into the frame that people start. It's the same as the AJ Wilder shit, to where when Wilder won the title in 2015, nobody gave a fuck about this man. He's been around since 2008. Nobody gave a fuck about this man until somebody else came into it.
Jules, you mean nobody cared about the Ronald Gavril fucking back-to-back fights?
Hey, Jules, nobody cared about the monster until Tyson called him the monster.
But it wasn't
he gave him that nickname.
Tyson was like high on mushrooms watching.
That's how I found out about him.
Yeah, but it wasn't even Tyson calling him that. It was Canelo's presence, because Canelo did that to middleweight. Remember, nobody really gave a fuck about middleweight before Canelo and Cotto are doing their thing. Middleweight starts to pop off and heat up circa 2014 and 2015. Wow, Cotto had beat Maravilla for the WBC. We knew they were planning Canelo versus Cotto. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. This is right around the time that, middleweight is popping, because they were also hoping whoever wins that fight would fight Golovkin, which was Canelo eventually. But it's like, yeah, Canelo has that effect on the divisions where he goes to. Nobody gave a shit about 168 till he got there. Nobody was sitting around talking about the big Billy Joe Saunders fight. The big motherfucking Callum Smith fight. Nobody gave a fuck about none of that. And they didn't give a fuck about it. That's why they wasn't trying to unify. Nobody gave a fuck about David until Canelo came into the shit. So the biggest part of promoting David Benavidez, like I always say, is Canelo. Without Canelo, that dude motherfuckers don't check for you like that. It's cool on the internet. Like I say, it's cool on the internet that YouTubers could do a video about you and make money. But that's because watching it is free. It's free for these motherfuckers to watch a video about your ass. When it's pay-per-view time, David has been on pay-per-view 5 times. What are the numbers? He's on pay-per-view with Plant, with Andre, with Morrell, with Vosdick, with Yard. You ain't heard a good set of numbers yet. What pay-per-view he did 300,000? Which one? They don't even put up numbers for his shits. That's how low it is. They don't even put up numbers for his shits. At least before, you used to get a ballpark, 225, 250, 3 and change. With David, you don't even get a set of numbers, bro, because that's how low the shit is. I'm thinking, this dude fights on pay-per-view on average. He might be doing 100, 150 to max because he don't got real fans,
His numbers are just take a guess.
Take a guess. Because how many people do you really think? David Morrell, guy with 11 fights from fucking Cuba. This is a pay-per-view. Guy with 11 fights from Cuba.
I'm pretty sure that's the lowest pay-per-view he's had. Maybe that one.
Oh no, Andre couldn't have been much better. When the fuck has anybody on earth? When the fuck has anybody on earth given a fuck about Demetrius Andre, bro? Like, we got
that's true. I forgot about
75.
Until he brought up Canelo, Jules. Until Andre brought up Canelo. That's when they gave a fuck about him.
Most motherfuckers only know Andre from
Real Talk.
Wow, what Real Talk did?
Dude, just read the freaking chat, bro.
What gay shit is they talking about? Where's Mr. T? Trying to get my numbers up. She ate my butt, bro. Oh, okay, bro. Okay. All right. That's really cool. And yeah, man, that's what's going on.
Oh.
And I was,
nice segue.
I was watching the Zurdo highlights, and I'm like, man, I be forgetting that Zurdo really could fight in the pocket, because it was highlights of the Arsene Goulamarian fight, and he was out fighting him in the pocket. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to pick against David for not liking him, but it's like, Zurdo really not a bitch though. Like, high key, that dude could fight, man. He could fight. It's room for something crazy to happen, man.
And Jules, there's always the possibility that fucking Fat Boy Benavidez ends up looking like Navarrete when he fought against Baranchik.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I haven't heard too many people talk about is David's gas tank as soon as he got to 175.
Yeah,
his punch output started dwindling, and I think if he goes to 200 and if that trend keeps up, who's to say that he doesn't freaking gas out like during the midpoint of the fight?
Between Golden Boy and, because it's really Golden Boy at the helm of that promotion, I would not be surprised, Seth, if there's no VADA testing for that fight. 2 reasons, 2 primarily. 1, Golden Boy knows that motherfuckers be on the sauce. They know. Everybody knows. I don't even want to just pigeonhole them. But also, you got to pay extra for that shit, bro. It's more expensive to do the show when you got to do the VADA testing, right? It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't test them motherfuckers for that fight. Same shit they did with Zepeda versus Farmer 1. They were supposed to be testing, but nobody paid for it, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't no testing for this fight, bro. Be real. I'm hoping there ain't any. So I hope Zurdo's on the juice. I hope David is too. It's gonna be a good fight.
David should be on that that EPO shit, bro, because he don't gas out.
He's on estrogen.
Take one up the ass, Take a couple shots on the ass. That's it.
Coke's expensive.
That's what Real Talk's doing in the chat, bro.
For real, yo. I hope he's on Trenbo. But everybody's losing their minds over the Ali Act, over the Ali Revival Act. And it's the real crooks is in how much they have to lie about what's going on, because even with all the changes, which are not even major changes per se, it's not like anybody has to sign to a UBO. You know what I mean? They keep representing it.
Yeah.
I noticed that boxing scene, Bad Left Hook, a lot of the people that are talking about the story, the WBN, they keep acting like, oh, everybody has to fight in a UBO now. No, they don't. They have a choice. The Ali Act didn't go anywhere. They just added something to it. That's it. That's all that happened. But because you keep misrepresenting the story and lying about what they're doing, it just makes it very obvious what your allegiances are. That, yeah, in order for you to say something bad, you have to lie. You know, in order for you to make this look bad or sound bad, you have to lie about what it is, like a fucking Democrat. You know?
Yeah,
Like
I
a
mean, the
fucking
weird thing
Democrat.
about it too is it's like they're stopping a lot of like these fucking interim belts and Reggie belts and all that. Like, and that's what a lot of fans were hating about, like the sanctions, body sanctionings and shit, right? Because they be throwing out like left and right fucking belts and shit, like Oprah throwing cars and shit. You know,
Exactly. I thought we wanted that to stop. Last I checked, I thought people wanted that to stop.
I saw on Twitter somebody said oh, it was Ali's grandson. What's his name? I don't even know.
Nico Ali
Nico.
Walsh, that
Yeah,
dork.
he said this is bad for boxing, and then somebody tagged Lou DiBella, and they were like, "Is this true, Lou?" And Lou said, "This is bad. This is a step backwards for boxing." And I'm like, "How, bro? We've been crying about these fucking thieves in boxing. The promoters are finally all under one network. I mean, that ain't got shit to do with the Ali Act, but
No, it
it's
does.
like
No, it does. It
it
does. It
does."
actually, it's all connected. See, Lou's gonna say that. You know why? Look, Lou is
He's a
gonna
hater.
say, Lou is gonna say that it's bad because the fighters that he would normally get to use for his little tiny rinky-dink shows, those are the kind of guys that are going to Zuffa, and they're getting paid purses that Lou wouldn't have been able to pay them. The biggest opponents of Zuffa, right? The biggest opponents are the crooked motherfuckers. Who that's why they're opposed to it. Because why should you care if they corner the market on B, C, and D tier fighters? It's because normally those are the fighters that you exploit. Normally, those are the fighters you get to get their ass beat on the prelim card. You know, those, yeah, like those. They're cornering the market on opponents. Now, do I think they're going to take over boxing by doing that? No, but it is good for those boxers. Robert said it. He's got kids. They normally only make about 4,000, if that, for a fight. Now they're getting like 70,000.
Well,
So tell me, how is that bad? How is that bad?
It's a crucial piece, though. You could kind of compare it to professional wrestling, like jobbers is the equivalent. And without the jobber, guess what? Your stars aren't going to look good because you have no jobbers. You know what I mean?
Got no one to job to.
So they're gonna kind of a little bit beholden.
Country, granted that they're signing a lot of jobbers, right? But there's no shortage of jobbers, is the thing. There's no shortage of guys like that. Like, bro, you could go to Mexico, find a couple of Mexicans, couple of Guatemalans, couple of Colombians, Venezuelans to get beat up on your undercard. There's no shortage of those kinds of guys.
Yeah, Oscar's got the lockdown on that.
Same thing.
Shut up to George.
jobbers.
Here's an idea to satisfy undisputed mandatories. Have a George Foreman style gauntlet match. If the first Mando wins, he has to fight the next Mando, and so on, till all four Mandos are satisfied. I'm of the opinion that in the event one guy has all the belts, the top contenders via the sanctioning body should have to fight each other. That makes perfect sense. He can't fight you all. There's one of him and four of you guys.
That's true.
He can't fight you all.
Get two number one contenders from the two sanctioning and let them fight. Pick out of those two, maybe. You know, that's true. They should do something like that.
You know, the one thing I never understood about the whole fucking ranking and mandatory is how some of these motherfuckers, usually it ends up being the IBF and the WBA who do it. They usually won't have anybody in the first and second spot. So they end up making motherfuckers that are like number 4 versus number 8 fight each other to be the mandatory.
I
It's
think
like,
they do
get
that.
the fuck out of here.
The IBF are the only ones that do that, but there's a reason they do that. There is a reason. It's to protect themselves. If they have a number one contender and they were to just leave him there, like everybody else does, they could get in trouble again. Remember, the IBF, like, people don't know the IBF's history. They're like, yo, they used to get in trouble a lot. Like, a lot. Like, the IBF president got locked up for corruption. Like, if you think the WBC's bad, IBF actually used to be worse. So, they don't have a number one contender because they don't want someone having that, I guess, leverage over them, for lack of a better word, that, like, oh, I'm the number one contender, but you left me there. You didn't order my fight. So they wait up until they actually have the mandatory selected to crown them number one. That, yeah, once you're the mandatory, you're number one. But other than that, in the in between time, they keep it open so that, nobody could say nothing about them. And, yeah, they're fucking up.
Yeah, that incident you talk about is country's favorite heavyweight of all time, Axel Schultz.
Axel Schultz. You know what I'm saying?
Really, country.
And yeah, now we know that Jai's he's gonna pursue legal action, which is what I thought. I literally said, yeah, that's what they're gonna do because they have a case. It's not the strongest case, but they definitely have a case. That, like, yeah, like, you can't. You guys waited 3 days out from the fight, which is gonna make it very obvious. First, you sanctioned it. Then 3 days out from the fight, you decide to pull the sanction when we can't call it off. I did a whole training camp for the fight. We gave you your sanctioning fees. We done promoted the shit. We can't, you put us in a compromising position. And I think if they present the case that way, they can probably win. They could probably get him reinstated as champion. You're not going to get any money from the IBF, but you can get your title back. You could probably get that back.
I don't
If
blame Jai.
if I was Jai, the minute I win that case, Jules, in court, and they give me the belt, if I was him, I'd fucking walk out of the courtroom with the belt on and then flip Daryl Peoples off as I'm walking out.
For real. Shout out to motherfucking that dude. Is Munguia back with Oscar? That's the $1 million question because he was on the poster. I guess he is. I guess he went back. I guess he did.
Which is crazy because if you're being trained by fucking Reynoso, like, how did they convince fucking Munguia, Reynoso to sign off on that?
Well, I mean, he, because he went to Top Rank. He went to Top Rank after he left Golden Boy. But I guess in that period of 7 months, when Top Rank didn't have nothing for him to do, he's like, yo, fuck it. I got to fight, dog. I got to get a fight. Shout out to motherfucking Drew. I got you. Now he's fighting Resendiz. And, I said it. I got him beating Resendiz. I think he's going to win that fight.
Everyone except that communist undefeated thinks he's going to win that fight.
Yeah, undefeated is a fucking commie, bro.
I still think Munguia should have went back to Freddie Roach.
Yeah.
I think he should have went back.
I don't have
I've seen. Freddie,
I don't have the highest opinion of
why the
Eddie
fuck you even
Reynoso.
leave?
Wait, hold on. 'Cause I was the
Freddie's,
first.
No, wait. Freddie's expensive. That's why. Freddie.
Yeah.
That dude's expensive, bro.
You got to pay Freddie 10%.
No,
Yeah.
And if you're making millions of
that 20%.
you making millions of dollars, that's an expensive ass trainer.
Like
The
the
fuck?
like the WBC or something, like Mauricio Suleiman.
I didn't know.
No. Freddie has always, like, my buddy who used to spar Manny back in the day. He used to tell me because he hung out with Manny, and Manny used to kind of tell him like all the inner workings of like his deals with Freddie. The reason eventually they broke up was because, once Manny started making really fucking big money, that 10%, that shit starts to climb really fucking high. So eventually you're like, man, I don't want to give away. If I'm making, $100 million, that means I got to give this motherfucker $10 million. And some of these dudes are like, I don't want to pay a trainer $10 million. So that's what happens.
Ignacio, and this is why the fighters they're more scumbags than the promoters how they treat the trainers and the coaches.
For sure.
Look at what Golovkin did to Sanchez. Look. If you listen. If you think about it, without Abel Sanchez, nobody was talking about Gennady Golovkin before he goes to Abel. And the whole big drama show, Mexican style, yeah, all of that came from Abel. All the money that you ended up making is because of Abel. So he struck a deal. You know, you guys got to remember, he strikes the DAZN deal, right? Because he struck a deal independently with DAZN, and it was worth a lot of fucking money. And you basically telling Abel, you can't get money with me. I'm like, see, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up, bro.
Didn't Spence also stiff Derek James?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but what he did, what he
Did him
did to
dirty.
Derek James, now I'm convinced that Derek is retarded. That, like, no, I'm not playing. Wait. The reason
You
I
could have
say
phrased
that
that better. You could have phrased that better, bro.
no, listen. When I say retarded, I literally mean retarded. Like, you telling me he's just, listen, Derek was with him from the amateurs.
Yep.
He was with him for the whole of his career. And you telling me that you was with Errol from the get, and it never dawned on you that he's shorting you on the bread? It took for somebody else. I was told this already behind the scenes. When he was training AJ on the side and he was training Ryan, what I was told was what lit the bulb for Derek was, how am I getting more for Ryan and AJ than I've been getting from Spence? That's what lit the bulb. That, you know, everything was uniform and professional and by the book. In the short time that he had AJ, which was what, Drew, like what, 2 fights?
2 fights.
Right?
AJ came in with
Like
a contract, Jules, with the Under Armour licensing. Like, this is how we're gonna take care of you, Derek. All this. And he's like, yo, this is a real fucking cash cow.
And what I was told, yo, that's what tipped Derek off. That how am I getting more from AJ and I just started working with him? How am I getting more from Ryan and I just started working with him? Whereas with Errol, you know, we done did the pay-per-view thing a couple of times already. Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Ugas. How the fuck am I getting more from these new guys than I'm getting from you? And it's like, look, think about what a dirtbag. Think about what a dirtbag, and that's why I don't do that shit with the fighters, Drew. About no, the fighters are scumbags. Give them a chance, and they'll show you.
Where's that Ali Act for the trainers and coaches, Jules? Where's the Ali Act in?
Ain't no Ali Act for them.
Yeah, freaking Derek went full simple jack over here, bro.
Errol, that dude been with you for ages, since you was an amateur boxer on Team USA, and what you did him dirty. So I'm like, yeah, I don't
Never go full retard.
He looked out.
Never go full.
He looked
Hey,
out
never
for
go
Earl.
full
He really
retard.
did, bro.
Hey, Jules, did you speak on it, or are you going to do a relay on Oscar's Ariel Helwani interview? Are you going to save that for a segment?
Well, I did one part of it, the Ring Magazine part, but there's just so much to unpack with Oscar, because it's like, Brody, like, you still focused and obsessing about Dana and Zuffa when, homeboy, you only got 2 years. It's like the public is too stupid to ask the questions. How come Matchroom got 5 years and you only got 2? Anybody want to explain that? They got 5 years.
And
I think the simple explanation with that, Jules, is that Eddie can develop guys that, even though they might not be stars, they sell tickets, like Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. Who the fuck does Oscar have that sells tickets?
No, de verdad
Scrappy?
nadie.
Right?
No, de verdad nadie. If you really thought about it, who does Oscar have that is the American equivalent of Lee Wood? Because Lee Wood still sells. The fight they just did, I think it was in front of 12,000 people. So it was a good number like that. It's sold out, bro. And that's Lee Wood coming off a knockout loss to Kakache, or a loss to Kakache. He's still sold.
La verdad. Do you count Munguia, or do you count that as Zanford doing the work?
Is Munguia really a draw? You would have to ask Ignacio.
He
sells out here.
I think Munguia sells, but I honestly think, Drew, that was more Zanfer. Before he got to Golden Boy, he was already selling. So
yeah, because
I wouldn't give Golden Boy the credit for that.
Yeah, because everybody would just cross over from Tijuana come when he was fighting in San Diego.
Yeah, when he was fighting in San Diego or Phoenix, like all those fucking paisanos would just cross the border.
Well, you know, I guess if we can't give Golden Boy credit for that, then that rules him out. Who do they have that actually draws? It's not Virgil.
That's what I'm saying, Jules. Like, for Virgil, they're the guy that they've developed from day one. His last fight, they had to paper the house.
It's not Virgil, it's not Scrappy, it's not Zurdo. It really all boils down to Ryan. And I don't know, man. Like I don't really think Ryan is that big a draw. It's the craziest thing with him that yeah, online, off of online metrics, he seems popular. But okay, what did the Barrios fight sell? It's been 3-4 weeks we haven't heard no numbers. What the fuck did that sell? And
It's already
before
been a
that,
month.
it's been a month.
That's so fucking double wood.
If the shit did 500,000, don't you think we would have heard about it? If the shit did 500,000, 500,000, I'm pretty sure we would have heard about it.
Oscar would have come out with his thong on with fucking cocaine on his nose if it would have sold $500,000.
And then
Dude, he would've been
really added.
No, I got a serious question though. Jules, you're the quality control of DAZN.
You
They
gotta
had
let
to
me
put
finish
some
my sentence, bro.
safety
You gotta let me finish
precautions
my
in the
sentence,
deals
bro.
with Top Rank and Golden Boy. Like, look, no pussyfooting around. We're matching you all guys. We have a say, and you guys need to match each other by what? Quarterly? Once a quarter?
Now, Ryan, listen, Ryan's been on pay-per-view, what, 4 times, right? About 4. Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero. Is it 3 or is it
Devin?
4 times? Right,
No,
right.
4 times.
It's 4 times, I believe.
It's 4 times, yeah. It's Gervonta, Devin, Rolly, Barrios. The only one that did anything was the Gervonta Davis fight, bro. Oscar himself said the Devin Haney fight didn't sell like that. He said that. What?
Even Eddie said it too.
It didn't sell like that. And I'm like, okay, so is this guy really a draw or what? Because if the Devin Haney fight didn't sell, well, I don't imagine the Rolly Romero fight sold or the Barrios fight. Who the fuck is buying these fights?
No.
But
I don't doubt they sold.
I think, yeah, the only big one he had was the Tank numbers. That's it. That Tank fight that was brewing for a minute too. But
And that was all Showtime.
Yeah, that
Really,
was on
yeah.
Showtime.
Really?
You know, and that shit did big numbers, and they were happy. They were saying it, all this and that. The face of boxing is the winner right here. Did numbers, did very good, right? But look, yeah, you're saying
they're
where's
saying-
the Devin Haney numbers? They ain't give us no
Now
Barrio
they're-
numbers.
Now they're saying he's gonna fight Teofimo, and I think in June or July they want to do it, something like that. I'm like, bro, nobody's gonna buy that fight.
No.
Who the
Yeah,
fuck
is that
wants
gonna
to
sell?
see? The shit is if you I keep going back to this. If you did Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez as an ordinary fight without a paywall, it would do good numbers. It would, because that is where that fight belongs on a regular schedule. That's not box office. And it's like, this is what's fucking the game up, that fights that belong as part of the regular schedule that would do good numbers. If you did that, I could see 1 million, 2-3 million people tuning in to a cable network or a terrestrial network to watch a fight like that. But if you put it behind a paywall, Brody, Lopez was just on pay-per-view and he looked terrible. So you're gonna
And we didn't get the numbers for that either.
Right? We didn't get no numbers for Stevenson Lopez.
Hey, someone
But
said it did
but
1.2
But
mil.
Drew, let's put him on pay-per-view again, though, even though he lost.
And that's my
But why
point
are
of
they
like
recycling these
by
fighters,
them
though?
doing that, but by them doing that, they're helping Zuffa. Like let's keep it real, Jules. Zuffa only got to worry about Matchroom and Top Rank. They ain't got to worry about Golden Boy.
See, they do have to worry about them. They do have to worry about a lot of them. You got to consider this, Drew. If you're doing, even if it's the PBC, let's say Zuffa's doing a show the same night as a PBC show. I don't know, Brandon Figueroa versus a guy, Gary versus a guy, right? Even the PBC will have more brand trust than Zuffa right now because they're the new kids on the block. I mean, that's why they're not going head to head with them.
No.
They're doing shows on Sunday. So Zuffa does have problems that need serious, like they do have problems that need serious attention. The sanction and body thing is a problem. Acquiring talent is a problem, because now they're showing you, yo, the way we're gonna stop fighters from going to you is we're gonna threaten their reigns as champions. So you can't sign anybody that has a belt, because if you do, we're gonna take that belt from them. So what can Zuffa do in that situation? There is a remedy, but it's not a good one. Overspend.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see what's gonna happen.
The only thing
I agree with you. Go ahead, brother.
The only thing I hate about this is the fact that I'm tired of seeing these fighters getting a loss then moving up, getting a title shot. Like we've seen this before, we've seen this again. Like, didn't Rolly and Ryan come up after losing it, or Rolly lose or some shit?
Ryan was coming off the loss to fucking Ryan was coming off the loss to Rolly when he gets a shot at Barrios.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this, Jules. The Ali Act passes. How much money does the WBA and WBC lose with no more secondary titles?
Oh, bro, like nobody's talking about that. Joe.
Nobody is. I'm gonna expect a relay segment on that.
No, but we kind of talked about this a few weeks ago. That here's the thing, the Ali Act, the Ali Revival Act, whatever they want to call it, is really only a thing in the United States. So my question is, if the WBA gives a regular title to a Russian, what the fuck can the Americans do about it?
Yeah, but that's Russian money. They're not U.S. money, is it?
No, I know, but I'm just saying that, in other words, everybody in boxing is talking about the Revival Act, but it's only a thing in America. It's not a thing in the UK. It damn sure ain't a thing in Mexico. It's not a thing anywhere in South and Central America. It's not. It's not a thing in Australia. It's not a thing in Eastern Bloc. It's not a thing in European countries, including the UK. Like, it's not a thing. It really only centers around America. So my question is, how do you tell international companies, because that's what they are, they don't just operate out of America. Can America tell an international company, you can't do this and you can't do that?
No, they can't, Jules. But does Mauricio want shekels and rubles over dollars?
You're right. You see, smart guy. I don't know, man.
And all the North America-based sanction. They're North American-based sanctioning body. They want dollars.
Yeah. I get that, but okay. Look, it's true that they want dollars. We know that they would prefer an American champion be their source of revenue. They would prefer that. But I talked about this 2-3 months ago. You were here. What if they just give those titles to Brits? That's the second biggest boxing market.
Mm-hmm.
What if they just say, look, we're going to keep making regular titles. We're just going to give them the Brits. And if the Americans don't like it, hey, suck a fat fucking dick.
And the English pound is almost as strong as the dollar, if not a little more.
And then that's where the legislation could push to shove the ABC, like, hey, we will rescind your ability to operate in America, period, if you're trying to circumvent our laws.
Wow. Yo, listen, do you know why I say this? They're going to get hit hard, Drew. If they can't mass produce interim, regular, gold, they're going to get hit like, yeah, y'all going to lose a lot of money. You are.
And the WBO ain't, Jules, you notice what I like about Gustavo? The WBO ain't tripping, baby.
No, yeah. I mean, like, look, the WBO and the IBF don't actually have anything to worry about because they've never really been big on throwing out different. They've never really been big on that anyway. But this is more for the WBA and the WBC that are huge on that. The WBA could have upwards of 4 titles out at the same time. The gold, the interim, the regular, the super. This is their racket. The WBC is the same way. So what do they do in that situation? Like, what are you going to do? Yeah, you don't get to have interim Isak Cruz anymore. That is dead for that. Yeah, that Cuban kid is dead for that. Yeah, at 135. Yeah, it's dead for that. What the fuck is he interim for? In the interim of what? In the interim of you stealing money, fat fucker? What is he the interim? What is he the interim of, bro?
Oh my god!
Another thing, yeah, Jules. If you're DAZN, let's say you're the quality control guy. How often do you demand, or did you put in the contracts for Top Rank Golden Boy match from that? Quarterly, we're matching you guys up. Bi-quarterly, what do you think?
I don't think that they stipulated that. I heard something that both I read something, I should say, in reference to both the Top Rank deal and the Golden Boy deal. They're giving them wiggle room to make fights amongst themselves with their blessing. That's saying that if a Top Rank wants to make a fight with a Golden Boy, right, they're going to match their fighters together. Outside of the budget that they're being given, DAZN will finance it. You know what I mean? That, Drew, we're giving you $40 million to do fights throughout the year. But if you have a big one that you put together, we'll pay for that too. You know what I mean? That if you
they don't want to go into Netflix, or they don't want Jake Paul picking it up on an undercard.
In other words, if Top Rank and Matchroom make Zayas versus Boots, right? If they make that, those purses for that fight aren't probably even going to be part of Top Rank's budget or Matchroom's budget. DAZN will approve us, like, this is big enough that we're going to approve this. We're going to spend a little extra on this because this is big enough that we believe in it. Golden Boy said something similar, that if we have a big fight that we put together, we have DAZN's blessing to do it, which it kind of tells me, okay, so if they're giving you 30 million, 40 million for the budget, right? For the budget, but you could make Ryan Garcia versus Violet Myers on pay-per-view, right? They'll approve it. They'll give you the money for the, like, oh, that's a good fight. Yeah, we'll pay for that. We'll take that.
So you're in charge over there. How often do you want the cross matchups?
I mean, I would think that you want them at least 2 to 4 times a year. I would think that you would want them 2 to 4 times a year because quarters, Drew, quarters.
Yeah.
You do, if you do one per quarter, like you have one big fight per quarter. So that's one huge fight. Well, quote unquote huge. Anywhere in between January, February, and March. That's the first quarter. Then April, May, June, second quarter. July, August, September, third quarter. You see what I mean? That you want at least one in each one of those quarters. But the question is, are those fights actually out there for you to even do that?
That's true.
It goes back to the question about the ultimate tier. Are there actually 12 or more pay-per-view worthy fights to make in boxing? Are there?
No. Where I'm excited, Jules, though, is just like Top Ranks. Who beats Top Rank fighters when they match head to head with other guys?
It depends on the fighter, because if you think about Vargas, we don't really know what Vargas is. Torres still has a lot to prove.
Yes.
You can believe in, Top Rank's track record, so you give them a vote of confidence. But really, there's guys that could beat Torres, man. There's guys out there.
But like I'll take Abdullah Mason over fucking Kid Hofield.
Oh yeah, but that's that's obvious. That's just basically saying that's an obvious pick. But that's saying that Top Rank does have a couple of guys that have question marks. Like, I'm big on Mason, but I don't know that you would be able to handle William like Shakur did. I don't know that. That dude is a punching machine, bro. That dude got lungs, he got combinations, and I don't know that you would be able to handle that assignment.
And that's a fucking pay-per-view.
But should it be, Drew?
Fuck no. So that's what I'm saying, that they're gonna help. They're gonna keep Zuffa in the game doing that shit.
Shout out to Misael. Ryan didn't do that good numbers. Did they sell tickets? Once again, when they do well, if they do a really good gate or really good pay-per-view buys, they tend to brag about it. I never saw anybody bragging about Ryan's either gate receipts or pay-per-views. The only time that happened was the Gervonta Davis fight.
And Misael, the networks don't give a fuck about the gate because they don't see none of that shit.
No, it's just trying to establish, is this guy really a draw or not? Because the indicators of you being a draw is not your Instagram followers. It's not how many people retweeted you. That's kids stuff. Like, what the fuck? Retweets.
Damn. Hey,
followers.
This girl, the laundromat, got a fat old ass and she's wearing Levi's. You have to have a fat ass to wear Levi's.
Listen, do the creep shit and put her on the Jumbotron.
She already walked out the fucking thing.
Fuck, man.
Damn it.
So you're telling me Kid Schofield against fucking anybody else is gonna fucking be a pay-per-view?
I'll tell you. Let's say that Kid Hofield. Let's say that Kid Hofield were to fight the fucking Abdullah Mason. That's a pay-per-view. That's a pay-per-view. Yeah.
With Mama Hofield.
D Styles, while I smoke this cigarette, can you give me your reaction to the recent developments? Because I'm gonna be listening while I smoke. To the Muhammad Ali Revival Act and all of the pearl clutching in the boxing space. Can you give me your reaction?
Well, one thing that I don't get, because you keep hearing about how everyone cares about the fighters and the integrity of the sport and protecting the fighters. It's all about the fighters. And I keep hearing that, but what a lot of this has done is reveal things that happens to 99% of the sport, and especially like in club shows, shows that are not like with like promoters that don't have like network deals and stuff, and practices that, quite frankly, you would think the Muhammad Ali Act is supposedly supposed to be protecting, but they don't. Things that I really thought only happened in third world countries, and that's when you look at, like, let's say like the fighter minimum, which the Revival Act is going to increase, right? It's also supposed to put some things in place that make it harder for these practices to happen. So let me talk about some of these practices. So one of them is in a lot of these club shows, and I'm seeing a lot of dudes like Boone from Kronk, he try to call me out and say all this is normal and it's always been done and it's the way it's done, but I don't agree with it at all. So what's with this whole, like, they have fighters and they tell them, well, we're going to put you on the card, but in order for you to get paid, you need to sell these 200 tickets right here, right? If you don't sell these 200 tickets, you're not going to fight, you're not going to get paid, right? Which leads to, and they've admitted to this, these fighters having to sell it to their family members, to their friends. And so in essence, their family and friends are buying a majority of these tickets to help fund the promoters' cards, right? And I just think this is a disgusting practice.
And D-Style, can I cut you off real quick? Even in they're like, the congressman said, like, we're trying to force you guys to have an ambulance and medical emergency at every show. It's not fucking stipulated yet.
I know it is in some states, but you're right. It's not stipulated in every state, and which is a shame.
But what about the fighters? The fighters.
Yeah, they keep talking about the fighters. I care about
the fighters.
Because Oscar was a fighter, and
my fishnets.
I don't fall in love with my fighters, but I was a fighter.
You want to see my asshole?
And that to D-Styles' point, that's what I've been saying, that the biggest opponents of the Muhammad Ali Revival Act are the people exploiting the boxers, because that's the sanctioning bodies, that's the small hole promoters that tell them, if you don't sell X amount of tickets, you don't get a fight purse. And you telling me that the Sean Zattels of the world, so you don't know nothing about that. You don't want to talk about that? You don't want to talk about how Giasov been waiting for a title shot for 3 years? You don't want to talk about how Virginia Fuchs, she wins an interim title so that the girl she beats gets the title shot, but she gets the interim title.
That's wild.
That's fucking wild, bro.
If I could read this reply to a tweet I put out, and because I had tweeted out, the current model in boxing got club show people saying they can't do shows unless the fighters sell their own tickets. And the guy responded, bro, this is what goes into a club show: purses, travel, hotels, per diem, medicals, ambulance, production, commission, refs, the DJ. And you expect the club show promoters to eat all that with no TV and no site fee? Explain how the club show can make money. I don't understand how that's a fighter's responsibility to pay all those things.
Exactly. If the biggest concern is, we have to look out for the fighters, we have to protect the fighters, the Ali Revival Act kind of does that. The only thing is, y'all don't want those fighters to go to Zuffa, and that's where your real conflict is. But those fighters, Robert already said it, those fighters that go over there, they're getting paid a lot more than they were getting before. So once again, how is that a bad thing?
I'm glad you mentioned Jeannie Fuchs, who's also an Olympian, by the way. And I still remember when she was on Twitter asking around, because she said, hey, they gave me a slot on a card, but they told me I need to find my own opponent. Do you guys know anybody that could fight me? That's what they had this fighter doing.
That's crazy.
This is the promoter's job, bro. If you're not cut out for what other business, like they're basically arguing, why should they take all the risk? What if they lose money? Well, welcome to capitalism. Well, welcome to this. Every single small business owner, entrepreneur, they take chances. That's if you fail, you fail, bro. Most restaurants don't make it. Most bars don't make it. If most promoters don't make it, then they don't make it. They're not cut out for it. Well, that's what I think.
If they don't want to take the risk, then why the fuck are they in boxing? I mean, come on.
Honestly, the real reason, honest to God, the real reason that a lot of small hall guys, this is just my theory, as a boxing fan who observes the business practices, but was also a dubious character in my youth. I just think they use boxing and cook the books to justify the money they're laundering. Because from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense to be a small hall promoter. If it doesn't make sense to do it on its own as a revenue stream. The only way it makes sense to be a small hall promoter is if you launder in drug money. Then it makes sense. Then you can make money. But other than that, just promoting little chicken gizzard shows on the chicken gizzard circuit, how the fuck you gonna make money? Even with the framework that they have now, I don't see how you making money advertising fighters that don't nobody know, unless you laundering some drug money or something.
That's exactly what. Remember, Bob Arum got in because he was an auditor, like Jules. I'm finishing my CPA right now. They're doing that. That's exactly why they don't want TKO, because TKO brings federal oversight, brings the IRS.
There it is. They don't want boxing. Boxing for so many decades now has literally been an unregulated sport where almost anybody could come into it and do anything. If you a guy and you sell all the coke on the Eastern Seaboard, all you got to do is be a silent partner for one of these promoters and you in the door. Danny Kinahan, that's basically his story. Yeah, I sell a lot of drugs in Europe, so why don't I just get into boxing? Because I said I got money. I got plenty of money to make some fights, but I got plenty of money for y'all to launder for me too. So why not just get into boxing? And the real reason that Zuffa has so many opponents is because of what Drew said. You bring in the government into boxing, and boxing people don't want that.
You see how shook Mauricio got when fucking that congressman mentioned the WBC by name on fucking Capitol Hill.
Exactly.
He's the cartel.
Yeah, but the issue is with a lot
And
of these
D-Style ain't made no friends over there with all his fucking pointing out financial documents and irregularities.
They've been pissing him off.
Look, what I could tell you guys is that my issue is when someone like Zuffa comes in and they're giving all these guaranteed contracts. They're paying a lot of these guys. A lot of them, we don't know who they are, right? But they got to start somewhere. And they're like mocking it, making fun of it. And it's like, well, what are you guys doing for these fighters? The fighters, what are you doing for them? Right? Oscar De La Hoya makes fun of the, nobody knows who they are. Who are these guys? Oscar, I thought you loved the fighters.
Right.
And I mean, I like, well, what's going on here? Like, somebody's got. Like, he didn't know who the fuck Maidana was before he fucked up Victor Ortiz.
Right.
Like, it is what it is.
And it's all supposed to be about the fighters, because I love boxing and I hate about the fighter. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
The fighters come first.
They're pro clutching about the UFC fight. Oh, they're screwed over. They're this. They're that. Look. A lot of Zuffa fighters have already come out and said, look, man, they're treating me great. This is the best experience I've had. This is the best paydays I've had. Because they're just assuming, right, that everyone's supposed to get paid like fucking Canelo Alvarez or some shit. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Brandon Glanton, if you go to his Instagram page, I was going to do a segment on it, but there just wasn't enough there to do a whole segment on it. But if for reference, he said Zuffa treated him great. That's his words. So it went from the goalpost got moved to, Dana White is going to come into boxing and he's going to screw the fighters. The fighters ain't saying that. That's not what they saying. I thought that was your main shit.
Right? Now it's, man, they're treating the fighters so good that the UFC fighters are going to revolt. Right? They're doing too good now. Now, what's going on? You're treating these boxers great. How dare you? These UFC fighters should revolt already. All this pro clutching, but let's use Jai. Jai is like the perfect example, right? Now let's feel sorry for Jai, and I can't believe that Zuffa did this to Jai, and it's just horrible for Jai. But when Jai was on an app nobody knows about, they weren't talking about Jai. When Jai didn't get paid for 17 straight fights, they weren't saying poor Jai. That's the model they're defending.
What they're not saying, and look, I'm a fan of Matchroom. I'm a fan of DAZN. But the fact of the matter is, according to McFrancis, they didn't offer Jai an extension. Matchroom didn't offer him. Then Frank Smith and Eddie Hearn confirmed it. Eddie Hearn's own words, I didn't have nothing to do for Jai. I didn't have nothing to do for him. Frank Smith said, hey, sometimes we got to let fighters go. Sometimes that's the way it is. We got to let fighters go. So if Matchroom didn't offer him a deal, what was he supposed to do?
And Oscar feels so bad for Jai, but he didn't offer Jai anything. right? So the guy that didn't offer anything, he was over here giving his opinion. Like, oh, I feel so bad for Jai because I care about the fighters. I was a fighter. Like, well, why didn't you offer the fighter some type of deal then? Why didn't
You
you
have
offer
a
him something?
cruiserweight. You have a cruiserweight champion in Zurdo Ramirez. You're promoting a cruiserweight fight. You feel so bad for Jai, but you didn't offer to pick him up. You didn't offer him Zurdo Ramirez as a fight.
Yeah,
it's all it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and it's from the people. Honest to God, if you really look at it, the biggest opponents of Zuffa are the people that want to screw the fighters. They don't want federal oversight, just like Drew said, because that's what it's going to be. For once, boxing will be run like an actual business where performance matters, right? Where there are regulations that actually protect the fighters. Because for all, I haven't seen Sean make one video about Shakram Gisov. Not one. 3 years of a guy in limbo. I thought y'all cared about the fighters. I thought that's what it was all about.
the fighters.
I love the fighters.
Yeah, I never saw Sean Zattel make a video about Suleiman Sissoko.
Right? This fighters, a Mexican girl. I bring her up all the time because nobody else does. Not once, twice. She got left in limbo by the WBC.
Hey, by the way, did Ariel Helwani follow up with Oscar and ask him, hey, Oscar, why didn't you offer Jai something? Well, why didn't you offer him a fight to fight Zurdo? You have Zurdo. Why didn't you make the fight with Zurdo when it was a matchroom, Oscar?
I'm gonna give Ariel. I watched the interview at length, and Ariel has a way of asking it. It's honestly the smartest way, because you don't want to come off as combative in an interview, because then you won't get the answers that you're looking for. You got Oscar up there and he's talking shit about Ring Magazine doesn't have the integrity that it used to have. And you know what Ariel asked him? Well, didn't you sell it to him?
Yeah, do you regret that? Do you regret that?
You seen it, right? He's like, do you regret selling it? Before we go in on Ring Magazine and what it has become, can we address that you sold it to him? Do you regret it?
Yeah.
He admitted it too. The way it is now, the way I'm kind of seeing it now, I kind of like, come on, dude, just fucking say you regret it, dumbass.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what I want to know.
But the fighters.
Let me
my asshole.
Say this about Ariel. Let me just say this about Ariel, honestly, because I didn't follow MMA. Most of the stuff that he did was in MMA. But watching his interviews, I give him his flowers because he's very smart. He has a way of getting the information and getting them to confess, sort of, right? That's, for lack of a better word, confess or admit without being combative. You see that? I'm not sermonizing. I'm not judging you. I'm asking you a question. And that is journalism. Like, yeah, it's up to you to find a way to get the answer without fucking this up, you know?
Mm-hmm. But he does have if I'm honest, Ariel does sound like an old ex girlfriend that has something against the UFC. It just
he got his credentials pulled. He got his credentials pulled.
Of course.
Well, there you go.
But I got a question, serious question. Can we see an improved AJ with Usyk? Is this going to be a renaissance? I like it.
Drew, if you want to get your hopes up, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I'm at where I'm at, bro. I'm an AJ fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of that dude. I think he's been amazing for boxing. But he done been through so many trainers, Drew. I don't know, bro. McCracken, Garcia, the Colombian British kid, then Derek James, then who was it after Derek James, y'all? Who was it?
Robert Garcia.
Robert Garcia. And Rudy Hernandez in the corner.
No, who else? Who was the more recent one that he hired? Who was the more recent guy that he hired?
Ben Davison, yeah. Roll the fucking dice. Roll the dice, Ben Davison.
He finally went to a Capricorn, Jules. He went to a Capricorn.
No, he went to Fury's trainer. He got duped by Fury's trainer.
I get that, but it's like I don't know what to say about a guy that's bouncing around that much, bro. That's like if a bitch get divorced a bunch of times. It's just like, well, what am I supposed to say?
Well, what I want to know is
that's like Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
I have just if I could go back to Oscar for a second. What is Oscar's? Is he just being emotional about the whole like going at the ring now and all that, or is there a method to this? Because I don't know how there's upside to attacking the Ring Magazine when Turkey and Ring are going to put on cards, and they're going to potentially pay some of your fighters a lot of money. Why would you want to strain that relationship?
Let me break it down for you, D Styles. I'm gonna break it down for you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Oscar, not really, because he's a fighter. But this is what I think. He's a fighter, but I really believe that Oscar thinks like a woman, because if you just listen to him and the reaction time, if you just listen to him and the reaction time and what he's saying, these are the responses of a woman. You act, yeah, you legit, you acting like a catty broad. Like, you know, people say that, but I mean, like, yo, the dude is acting like it. You just talk shit all the time, all the time, all the time. You talk bad about everything as if you're doing so fucking well. You're just itching.
He's a real gossipy bitch.
Like, generally, though, think about it. Like, why are you worrying about Ring Magazine? You sold it.
He's like Mean Girls or something. Mean Girls.
You the one. Whatever it became. It's because of you know, I said it in the relay, but I'll say it here again. If he literally said that I could have ran Ring Magazine forever. Okay, if you could have ran it forever, then why'd you sell it? Why did you sell it? Whatever it becomes after that is your fault. Period. Yeah, if it's a propaganda rag now, if you can't trust the rankings, you the one that sold it. Why did you sell it? Why? If it's anybody's fault, it's yours. Now, I don't expect anybody in the media to come at him like that, but that's the reality of the situation. Whatever it became is because of you, because you sold it.
But the stuff, like, in other words, he doesn't have any good things to back it up with. Like, one of the things he cited was Goyaso he should be number 2 pound for pound minimum. So they're corrupt. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about here?
Oscar's been ridiculous for such a long time that he'll say anything now, you know, like Goyaso might be pound for pound in all honesty, but not number 2. You know what I mean? You know, he's a unified champion. He's doing well. Ring Mag. He might be pound for pound. Let's say 10. You know, number 10, number 9,
and definitely not. It's corrupt if he's not number 2. They're definitely not that.
And it's just that someone who's been accused of stealing from his own fighters that many times, sitting on a pulpit, wagging his finger in everybody's face about integrity. It's like, what are you supposed to say? Like, bro, you're gonna do okay, bro.
Yeah.
The guy with fishnets. Okay.
Skull and he's pointing at everybody else.
No. Because listen, because if he needs to wear fishnets, if he, you know, if he's wearing fishnets and the you know the Russian hookers are fucking him in his ass, hey man, you know, whatever, right?
Do you? Pink fishnets, black fishnets, it doesn't matter.
Right, whatever. You know, if you know, some people pour sugar into their cereal.
Let bygones be bygones.
But so many fighters that have come through Golden Boy Promotions have accused Oscar of the same thing, whether it's Marquez or Mosley or Canelo. They have all accused you of stealing.
Even Triple G.
Kovalev.
Hey, Jules, you know who accused him of stealing? Canelo with the kitchen utensils. What do you say? He puts kitchen utensils. He steals them to put them up his ass.
He's putting a spatula up his ass.
That shit was so funny.
How is a guy whose fighters continually accuse him of stealing, how do you have the audacity to sit there and talk about integrity? And it's because, well, nobody's going to challenge him on it.
Remember he said he was going to sue Canelo for saying that, but he never did shit.
Yeah, he got real fucking. Oh, he put a restraining order on him too. I thought.
Nah,
because he steals kitchenware and sticks it up his ass. He's got to get a restraining order.
Listen, the last thing Oscar wants is for that to actually go to the courts and people have to review the documents. Like, yeah, like what happened right there? What happened, Oscar?
Yeah, could you imagine a judge reviewing that shit, Jules? He'd be like, man, get the fuck out of here.
He'd throw out the case. He'd just throw out the case, tear the fucking shit up.
The main thing with boxing, honestly, is that boxing really is a bent sport. You can't call boxing a sport in good conscience. You really can't. Sports have what makes sports is an established infrastructure and pecking order. You watch the World Series, you're watching the 2 best teams in baseball play each other. Two best teams in the league. You watch the Super Bowl, it's the 2 best teams in the league. The ones who rose to the top, and now it's just us. Those are sports. Boxing is augmented and manipulated to the point you can't really call it a sport Rolly has a belt, but he's not really a champion. You're there, and you haven't even fought a welterweight yet. But in this sport, you're a welterweight champion that hasn't fought a welterweight yet. It's not a sport, bro.
If the WBC ran like football, like the Cowboys, and like they'll be in the Super Bowl every year, like
yeah, honest to God, like you want to
coming off losses and shit.
The parallel is you want to pick the teams that go to the Super Bowl. You don't want to let it happen organically. You want to pick the teams that go to the shit. It's like, this is not a sport, bro. Ryan is only here because he was given an opportunity ahead of 15 to 20 ranked contenders. Because remember, Ryan wasn't ranked by the WBC. He wasn't ranked. So you skipped ahead of all these guys that have been paying you sanctioning fees, fighting in your eliminators. You skipped all of them so that he could get a title shot.
No, but you saw Mauricio.
That's an FBI investigation right there.
Did you see how Mauricio was flexing after the fight? Like, like basically saying we're all the people saying that Ryan wasn't, championship worthy, and all the people that criticized me because he wanted to fight. But like, bro, he beat Mario Barrios, bro.
Mario Barrios.
Country could have broke wind and beat fucking Mario Barrios, bro. I see. Because the guys that are ranked, they wouldn't have beaten Mario Barrios. Well, like, what do you say? Anybody in those ranks could have beat fucking Mario Barrios.
Fucking Rolly.
This is not a sport, bro, and that's the real problem, and that's what I care about. That listen, I don't clutch at my pearls over the fighters. Honest to God, I don't. Because at the end of the day, they can be pretty fucked up too if you give them half the chance. My entire stake in this conversation is quality control. There's a reason that American boxing sucks. There's a reason that the welterweight division sucks. And it's because y'all aren't doing the function that y'all are here to do. If y'all just let them fight and let the best fighter rise to the top, that'll be the exciting one. That might be the guy that sells tickets, that people want to see him, because that's the way it was. You let the best fighters fight each other, and whoever's the man up there, that's the guy who ends up being a man selling the tickets and all that. That's how you get a little-known Filipino fighter in a Manny Pacquiao to become an 8-weight world champion and one of the biggest draws in boxing, the old-fashioned way. Because Manny earned it. Look at his resume. He did earn it, I'm not even a fan of him like that. But yeah, he earned it. Late replacement for Igbeko beats him. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Jules.
They were throwing him.
Slept in the gym to get it. Used to sleep in the gyms to get it.
Andrew Cancio is a fighter who got screwed years ago. This is how you know I watch too much boxing. This guy's story was like, it could have been a huge success story. So Andrew Cancio, part-time worker. I think he works for the oil company. Part-time
gas company.
He goes in there, he knocks out the Puerto Rican Alberto Machado. Wins the title. Did the WBA order the fight between him and Gervonta Davis? No. And before that, did they order the fight? Like, by all rights, you shouldn't have even had to order a fight between them and Gervonta, because Alberto was actually champion first. I've said the story a million times. Alberto beats Jezreel Corrales, becomes the full champion. 9 months, almost a year. He gets demoted to regular champion, and they manufactured a belt, literally, and gave it to Gervonta.
Wow.
That's insane. And it goes on, and this is why I have a bone to pick with the Sean Zattels of the world. Not just him, anybody clutching at their pearls. That y'all fake as shit. Stop acting like you care about the fighters. This shit has been happening right in front of you the whole time. What they did to that kid.
You just want to interview.
They care about the fighters.
You just want to be their friends. You just want to be their interview, like fucking Showbiz and all these other, and you want to talk to Bill, and we get it.
That's exactly.
Just admit it.
They care about the fighters that give them access that help with their content.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And then the Sally Struthers act, it just kills me. They're like, do you realize how bad that is? That is how Graziano Rocchigliani was almost able to cripple the WBC for what they did to Alberto Machado. It's the same thing that Graziano won the WBC title. Then because Roy decided to come back, you took it from him and gave it back to Roy after the fact. Oh, that's what y'all did to Machado. Literally, that's what y'all did. He won 9 months before Gervonta even decided to fight whoever the fuck it was he fought. And y'all really took it from him and gave it to somebody else. And because poor little Alberto is not, some big time fighter with a big time lawyer, right? Y'all get away with it. Y'all get away with it all the time. So please stop with the fighters. We have to, we have to protect the fighters, Ariel.
Yeah, it's such a line of bullshit.
Such a crock.
It's a crock of shit, bro. Shout out to George. Worst white TBC personality, Ellie Sekback or Showbiz? I'm gonna be honest. Showbiz is a wildly successful character. I don't hate him. I don't watch him, but I don't hate him. He's playing the game. That means that I would never watch your channel for no boxing analysis because I know that that's not what you're actually doing. What you're doing is you're playing the game for shock value and clicks. And it's working because he is very successful. But for boxing analysis, no, I would never go to him because he's not analyzing boxing. He's just trying
He's boxing entertainment.
Yeah,
he's an entertainer, and you can tell it's not really much analysis. It's a lot of clickbait, shock bait. Usyk isn't this, and someone isn't that, and yada yada yada. You can just tell by the title. You don't even have to watch the video.
It's just about getting you to click it. It's not analysis. Like
and it works every time.
Rummy's Corner is a great channel. My man Boxing Gems. If you want boxing analysis, amazing channel, Boxing Gems, right? My man
Honcho's
in Britain,
boxing.
Beats and Rhymes. I like Honcho's boxing for stories. Because he tells the stories, like he'll put the videos together and tell, like
he's kind of like timeline type of dude.
Yeah, like guys who talked shit, and then because he does those kinds of videos, like the guy that talked shit,
yeah,
and then he got his ass beat. He's great for that. But analysis of the sport, yeah, like you can't go to Showbiz for that. Like he's not analyzing the sport, bro. He just wants you to watch.
Setback for that either.
No, I don't
he just wants you to see his eyes bug out of his skull. That's all he wants.
I don't want to know how many beers Mikey Garcia drunk at the birthday party. But that's the kind of shit that Ali
Well, Ali will have some out-of-pocket opinions.
Yeah.
Like some out-of-pocket analysis. It's insane. Like Canelo won every round against Crawford type of shit. You know what I mean?
It's like Ali's another one. And this is why, like you just see the wisdom in why things were the way that they were, that there is a reason that members of the media are intended to be impartial. Because the moment they stop being impartial, they become propaganda peddlers. And then you're not getting news anymore. It's not news. This is just you peddling propaganda. And that's where, coverage of boxing is, that we can't have an objective conversation about boxing based on the stories anymore like we can in other sports. You could talk about what happened in the World Series and the Super Bowl and the playoffs and the Stanley Cup and the PGA Tour. You could talk about all these other sports objectively. You cannot talk about boxing objectively. No. Stories are written a certain way. The questions are a certain line of questioning.
Too much favoritism.
Right? Mikey, did you rotate the tires on the Bugatti? These are things that apparently Ellie thinks we need to know. Like, we need to know if Mikey's tires are bald. We need to know this.
How was your daughter's quinceañera?
It is hard to explain shit to people that don't follow the sport, because even we don't really get shit anyway. But like just the other day, a friend of mine just literally just asked me like, "Hey, so Ryan's a champion now?" Like, yeah, like he beat Mario Barrios. He's like, "Did he just get his ass kicked? That rolling guy?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah." Like, but did he win another fight to get in contention? I'm like, you're talking about contention, like if it's a legitimate process, bro. Like it's not like that anymore.
It's not. It's not. It absolutely isn't, and that's why it's almost like, how could you be a fan of boxing? That's where it's now. Let's establish that this is mostly American. Let's be honest, because if I move off of the American subjects, let's look at Dalton Smith. That's how it's done. That's how I'm the away fighter. You're the champion. I had to come out to fight you, and I didn't rob you. It wasn't contentious. I knocked you the fuck out. I'm the champion now. That's how it's done. That is how it's done, right?
Well, yeah, in American boxing, and this is thanks to the sanctioning bodies or whatever, and it's the way it's done, and it's defended by guys like Sean Sattel, I guess. but they've eliminated the concept of the chase. Like the guy that's moving his way up the rankings, if they lose, they're knocked down a peg. They got to work their way up the rankings again, win some type of eliminator or something like that, and then they get their big title shot. Like, I'm going to get my shot. Now you can literally get dominated like Ryan, and your very next fight, you're fighting for a world title. And then people walk around like it's normal.
It was somebody else that said it. It wasn't me. They basically said that the American champions are the main ones that don't win the title. They get it some other way. They get elevated. You know, they get elevated or something. Like, yeah, Ryan beat
They win
Barrios.
a vacant.
Ryan beat Barrios for the belt, granted. But he got a shot that he should have never got because you lost. You lost, bro. You fucking how the fuck?
You know, that's how Shannon Briggs became lineal. He fucking robbed George Foreman.
Yeah,
they gave him the lineal title for that, and then he went on to fight Lance Lewis.
And the story was that they just, you know, because George was old by then, and they just didn't know how to get rid of him because he's still good, man. Like he's still out here doing it.
He had those two robberies, and that was the justification. It's like, well, the actual Schultz, what was that other fight? Alex Stewart, and they were like, oh, this is justification to rob the old man. Shout
out to my man, Big Dog TV, Jules Cooking with Rice. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, that if you look at the way it's done with other places, like, and I said this the other day, D Styles, if you look at the fighters that are trying to do it the right way, like Jai Opetaia, they're castigated for it. Usyk, Inoue, Crawford, Canelo, to an extent that, like, y'all didn't give a fuck about super middleweight until big man over here unified the division in 11 months. Now y'all want to act like he owe y'all. Y'all didn't give a fuck about this division till he got there. You got 4 champions there. They don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, they were
Canelo comes in. Canelo comes in 11 months. You want undisputed? You got it. All the guys that do things the right way. All the guys that do it the right way, the Americans hate them for it.
100%. Because
the good guy always gets screwed in the end.
The crazy thing about the Canelo situation is that they keep saying he held the division hostage, quote unquote, but none of those they were all undefeated, those champions, and none of them were fighting each other.
And
he kept it moving, if anything.
You can't even accuse him of holding the division hostage. And I know that the explanation is long-winded. But if he's fighting his mandatories, the division is not being held hostage. He fought his mandatories. It's not hating on Bud. I'm not hating on Bud. But Canelo reigned as undisputed. It wasn't, I'm undisputed, now I'm leaving. He reigned as undisputed.
Yeah, and before he showed up yet, Smith, Saunders, Plant, Benavidez, they were all champions. They were all undefeated. They weren't unifying. The 2 pairs of them were with the same promoter. They still weren't fighting. So, like, this dude shows up and unifies the whole thing. It's not his fault. Benavidez, fat ass, couldn't make weight and lost his belt. But it's this what it is. Like, what do they want? I mean,
correct me if I'm wrong. Did Canelo defend undisputed? Because a lot of fighters don't do that. Defend undisputed.
No, he
it
did.
kind of goes understood.
No, he did. Bro,
yeah, that's what I'm saying about Bud. But I don't think he ever defended
two,
undisputed.
The only two, no, I'll give Usyk credit that he did sort of defend it. Or at least he.
No, he did it. He did it cruiserweight. I was talking about Bud. There was like a couple of times he could have defended undisputed.
Just that Canelo and Inoue are the only guys who, after they became undisputed, after that, they consistently defended it. It wasn't like, one and done and I'm leaving. No, they defended undisputed. But people look at, but Americans specifically, because that's who's talking the shit, they look at that as a bad thing. It's like, well, the guys you like, they don't even go for undisputed. The guys you like,
let alone defend it.
Let alone defend it. They don't even go for it. It's America's backward. To me, American boxing fans are the dumbest fucking fans in organized sports. Like, y'all advocate for the crooked. Before Zuffa comes
dumbest people on the earth, if you think about it.
Before the Revival Act, y'all was the same ones complaining about the sanctioning bodies, so that when somebody's actually putting them in the hot seat, you want to get mad at them for that? Like, I thought y'all didn't want all these belts out here circulating out here. What, now y'all do? It's never gonna make sense, bro. It's never gonna make sense, and that's why a lot of the exciting stories in boxing. Let's go south of the border. Exciting fucking story. I fucking love it. Fernando Beltran wants Figueroa versus Rafa. Beautiful. Beautification match. Mexican shootout. I love it. South of the border is popping. Across the pond, Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley. Fabio don't got no reason to be giving this guy an opportunity. This is a dangerous guy. He's fighting him anyway. Fuck it. Let's fucking dance, bro. It's gonna be a great fucking fight. Let's fucking
We're gonna
dance,
see what
bro.
level Wardley's on, because this is like kind of the test if you're really on the level, because you had the Hooney mishap, you had the Parker mishap. Is like you can't have a mishap with Dubois.
But you
And he's
gotta,
back with Don Charles.
and you gotta respect it. You know why? Because those were all close calls. But he's not taking his foot off the gas. Like, nah, let's fucking rumble. Let's fucking go. You know? It's
This would
real
be the
shit.
hardest puncher. The hardest puncher he's ever fought.
Inoue, you don't have to fight Junto. You don't have to do that. But you got a sense of pride. Like, nah, I ain't running from this. I'm fucking Naoya Inoue. I am the motherfucking
They said he was ducking MJ, Jules. They said he was ducking MJ, and he fucking just schooled the shit out of him.
Well, you know why?
You don't hear a word about that. Do you hear a word
He has
about that on these YouTube streets? Not really. They up and forgot about that, almost like Fulton.
He has a drive in a way that he wants to challenge himself, and that's the difference between him and other fighters, man. He's got that passionate drive that he wants to challenge himself.
What do you say? The Japanese heart, the dragon or something? The dragon heart is what he said.
And you see that you
The
just see the
spirit
difference.
something.
And you see the difference that one, and the American media is not going to say it because they hate to admit it. Brody, you could make Boots versus Zayas tomorrow. That's not bigger than Inoue Junto. No, it's not. It literally isn't. It's not. No, it's not. Right now, there is no fight in America involving two Americans that would rival that one in terms of scale, significance. It wouldn't, and skill. It wouldn't. No, there isn't. There's no fight here that you can make that's on that level. There's no fight. That fight is major. It's huge. But you're acting like because they're Japanese, oh, they don't count. What? Why? Because you're the special ones? But like, seriously, like that's the attitude that like, oh, but well, it's over there, so it does. Oh, as opposed to all the fly shit that's happening over here. You can't get Virgil. You can't get fucking Virgil to fucking do anything. You can't get him. Rolly Romero versus D Styles. Rolly Romero versus Devin Haney. That's what's supposed to get your dick hard. Rolly Romero, Devin Haney.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, bro. Let's do it.
Oh, he has to go.
I'm pumped.
Watch Rolly fuck around and win too.
Damn. He's so awkward too. I don't want to get my hopes up. What we want can happen is not what's going to happen. What we want is not what's reality.
That is so fucking mediocre. Like, bro, y'all really? So y'all telling me on a Saturday?
Mediocre.
Y'all getting hyped to see Rolo? That's where it's at now. That's what the streets. That's what's going on.
That's what boxing's become. Rolly and Ryan are exciting fighters now. Little tank.
Who was it? Tony Weeks, whoever it was, or that ref. It's all their fault, man. They wouldn't have Barroso finished the job. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but look at now. I'm glad you brought that up because look at the extent of the chicanery in America as opposed to other countries. You go to another country, yeah, maybe there's a dodgy scorecard, maybe there's a dodgy decision. In America, they'll pretend that you didn't get knocked down. So that they'll pretend that you didn't just get knocked down in front of all these people here and the people who watch. Yeah, that wasn't a knockdown.
They'll pretend Ward didn't. They'll pretend Ward didn't low blow Kovalev.
He didn't get
they'll see it.
They'll stop the fight over punches that are not landing. They will stop the fight. Like, we got to stop this.
Hey, he might not.
Back to the knockdown, by the way. The knockdown. Let them go to the corner and let the trainer on the apron wipe your face down. You get a nice timeout. Everything.
And it's not a sport. It's not a sport.
You can relax, have a cigarette, whatever you want to do.
Ortiz and Wilder comes to mind when you mention that.
Well, with Ortiz and Wilder, in fairness, they were, and you know I don't like Wilder country, you know that. But in fairness,
but the thing is, Wilder got took by the hand by the ref and walked around the ring for a full minute, just about.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't get knocked down, but he may as well have.
But the doc wanted to look at
him. Fans get mad at Fury's long count.
Do I think that they wanted to give him more time? Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
But it's just that's not the worst thing I've ever seen in modern boxing. Has to be that Gervonta Davis literally takes a knee. The ref acts like he doesn't see it. He literally ran to the corner, gets towel. It's like, what is this, bro?
Yeah.
What is this?
That was the worst, man. That was. Like,
and second to that is Rolly is throwing punches that are not landing. And Tony Weeks stops. It's like, okay, all right, bro. Okay.
Who's that other ref? The one that makes the funny faces. Everybody likes him. So
Steve Willis. Steve Willis.
Yeah,
they used to like him before that. Before that Davis debacle, they used to
you
like
know what
him.
I notice about American fight fans? It's all projection with them, right? So they'll accuse everybody of, oh, you guys just want the American fighters to lose when we want Tank Davis to fight top opposition. Like, that's all we're asking for. Like, we're not asking the guy to do anything crazy. But all they do is like ask Inoue to do shit because they want him to see him lose. Like, go to lightweight. Like what? Like, you just want to jump on his weight.
Go fight Tank.
They tell us, oh, you just want Gervonta to lose. No, you're projecting. You just want Inoue to lose. You just want Canelo to lose. You just want Usyk to lose. Why? Because these are the fighters that we rank ahead of the guys you like. You want to bring them down to his level, to Gervonta's level, where
the Devins. They want Devin over Inoue.
If he's so fucking good, like you say, then why don't he get out there and do what Usyk's doing? According to you guys, he's the fucking shit. He's the shit, the piss, and the toilet paper. So all right, get out there and prove it. Nobody asking him to do nothing crazy. Y'all in a crisis situation because people want him to fight light punching Shakur. Ain't that about a bitch? Well, what do you think Shakur's gonna do to him? He's gonna win a decision, bro. Relax. Gervonta's gonna be okay. Shakur don't knock people out. He'll be okay. But you that fucking scared that you get mad? You mad at us? Wow.
The fuck we do?
Fuck did we do? Shit. It's not a sport. To me, American boxing, you have to section it off because most of it is not a sport. Like, it's not a sport, dog. There's no structure. There's no regulation. I could understand, bending the rules a bit. At this point, who needs rules, bro? God takes a knee and they act like they don't see it. Who needs rules?
Yeah, there was American fight fans that literally drank the Kool-Aid, and they literally believed that there was this apparatus in place to hype up Inoue, right? And we were all pretending he's good, right? And that was a reason behind picking Fulton to win. Oh, now he's going to get exposed. They put him in there with an American fighter. And then he goes in and just destroys the dude.
The slick fighter. Oh, my God, because the slick, and he gets fucking... Bro, fucking MJ lasted longer than that guy. I mean, MJ didn't get knocked up. It's a fucking fighter.
Fighter.
It's always the same. It's because they kind of did it with Gennady. It was easier to do with Gennady because at the end of the day, his resume actually was pretty fucking thin. But with Inoue, it's like, how could you not like Inoue? What do you want him to do, dog? You want him to go Super Saiyan? What the fuck do you want him to do, bro?
You want him to die so you can fully respect him or something?
I'm saying like there's two guys. I've been watching boxing for such a long time, and there's rarely a fighter that they just don't give you anything to complain about. But how could you complain about Usyk? He went to their countries and he beat them there. What is there to complain about?
Nothing, man.
Nothing.
He's a four-weight, two-time undisputed. Like, he fought the people, literally, that y'all wanted him to fight. Y'all wanted him to fight a slick American fighter. He did that. Y'all said he was ducking MJ. Well, he fought him. But fight Jim.
Defends the title 4 times next to Larry Holmes and still not good enough.
Bruh, at this point, it's like I said, like, Americans don't want a sport and they don't want boxing. They just want characters. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters thing. You don't go see the Harlem Globetrotters wondering who's going to win the fucking game.
Yeah, you already know.
You're not watching much basketball. You're watching tricks.
It's a fucking reality show, American boxing, Jules. That's what it is.
It's a
That's
fucking
all it is on the
sitcom.
YouTube
It's a
street.
sitcom,
Drama.
bro. It's a fucking sitcom. It's Scrubs, bro. It's fucking Friends. Din, 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 din. So no one told you Rolly was gonna be this way. It's fucking Friends, bro. On that note, I'm going to sleep. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Night, fellas.
All right, let it go.
Peace.